How's it going, everybody? Well, you asked the questions, and today it's time to provide the answers. I just want to take a second and say, excuse the mess behind me. I'm in my construction zone right now. I've been, if being tied up doing all the farm work wasn't enough, I also have been doing an addition when I get time. So it's been chaotic, to say the least. But I wanted to take a second and thank everybody for the participation. It always blows my mind. I'm always saying, you get a couple people that ask to do the Q&A, and it's like, yeah, sure, I'll do one. Probably not going to get that many questions, and then I get blown away with questions. So I really appreciate it. It's been quite the process trying to go through, screenshot everything, get it up there, get it posted, and then trying to group them together, because a lot of you guys ask the same questions, which is fine, but trying to get them all together and group them, it's been quite a process. So everybody, I just want to take a second and also say I'm going to try my best. I apologize if I get some of your guys' names wrong. It's not intentional. I'm going to do my best at reading the names off here. Let's get started with it. Let's jump in, and let's start answering some questions, shall we? PA Grain Farmer, I know you, like me until I retired from it, have an off-the-farm job. Over the years, you make mention of your father and brother, who are also involved in the farm. Do they also have off-the-farm jobs? Just curious. I'm glad farming and nothing else. I'm glad I'm just farming and nothing else now. 40 years off the farm and farming, we're certainly busy. Charlie, first off, let me just say I hope you're doing well with everything. I don't have an off-the-farm job. I did for many, many years. And a little while ago, I left the off-the-farm job and came back to the farm full-time. My brother decided he was leaving the farm, so he is not. He'll come down. My brother was great at breeding. He was a great cow guy. He was really, really good. Phenomenal breeder. So if we're in a pinch and we need help, my brother can come down and help us out with that, and he has helped us out with breeding. And if I needed anything else, really, I'm sure I could give him a call, and he would come back and help out. But I am full-time on the farm. My dad is obviously full-time on the farm. My dad is also a seed salesman, so he has that, and he does a lot of work with that too. So yeah, so that's basically the catch up. That's basically the catch up with that. And we might as well tie this one in together. Farms Hoffman, 8475. Mike, I have a question. What's the future look for you and your brother on the farm? And does your dad and your dad to retire? My dad's talked about retirement, but not like seriously. There's still there's a lot, even for a small farm. There's a lot for two people. Like I said in the previous question, my brother's not a part of the farm right now. Honestly, if my brother decided he wanted to come back and we were going to expand the farm a little bit, I would absolutely love for him to come back. He's a much better cow guy than I am. The cows are wonderful. I like them, but I've always been more of the tractor guy. I think me and my brother make a great team. He's extremely smart and knowledgeable, so who wouldn't want someone like that on their team, as part of their team? So if my brother ever decided to come back, I think that'd be great. We'll see what happens. I wish I had some clarity on that. I don't know if he even wants to come back. He might be very happy not on the farm anymore. I don't know. So he's very talented. He's very talented with the cows. So but if he doesn't want to do it, then he doesn't want to do it. I don't blame him for it. And if he's looking at other, all through my jobs off the farm, my off the farm jobs, I wasn't in one place all the time. I started at a place, and then I'd go to another place, and then I'd go to another department. And so, I don't hold it against my brother if he wanted to try something else. So. And we could tie this in with it too. Menno wants to know, the Dutch dairy farmer. He always signs a greetings from a Dutch dairy farmer. I hope things are going well over there, Menno. Hi, Mike. What do you see in the future for yourself and your dad? If your dad gets a bit older and quits milking, maybe a freestall, or leave the dairy and go to row crop, haymaking? Any chance your brother coming back? We wait for the answers. Like I said, I would love for my brother to come back. I think we work great together. I think we would work great together. We have in the past, and I think we would in the future. If it's a matter of if it's something, number one, he wants to do, and if it's, if we can make it happen, kind of the thing here. It's not just as simple as like, you want to, come on. As far as a freestyle would go, I would welcome a freestyle. I don't hate Thai stalls, but I would welcome the fact of putting up a freestyle. I never wanted to go with this big, massive, just something that is a little bigger, that could be family run. I think would be a perfect farm. And that's something that we'll see how it goes. That's not something you just snap your fingers and it's there. It's a big commitment, and that's a lot of pushing the pencil and making it happen. So we'll see what happens. All right, so let's get back into the questions here. Farmboy2246, do you plan on taking the farm over when your dad is done? Love the videos. Thanks for all the effort you make them. We'll put this together with Paul Case Farms 9933. Do you plan to buy the farm when your dad retires? I've been in a 20-year plan of buying my dad's farm so it can stay in the family. My son also farms, so they eventually buy mine. What insight do you have? Thanks, I enjoy watching the videos. Keep up the good work. My dad has mentioned retirement. Only to the point of he wants to do it someday. There's been no serious talk. Right now, the way it's kind of set up, it's definitely at least a 2-person operation. Just from my dad being out with his surgery, it was, quite busy as long as things didn't always go to plan. One day I went down and a water line had broken the night, so the barn was flooded, so I had to contend with that. There's always something to do, as you guys know, but I don't think my dad plans on doing anything drastic until, basically I have someone, whether it's my son, my daughter, whoever. My son has shown more interest as of right now, so until someone like that is there to kind of help me out, because it is, like I said, a 2-person thing, and my dad doesn't totally want to just sail off into the sunset and be done. He is a Pioneer seed salesman, so he does have that, but he still wants to do some things. I would never just want him to, okay, go away now. So we really haven't talked about it. That's the plan, is to roll everything just to keep it going and keep it in the family and just to keep things going. So I really don't have an answer for that. I mean, I want to, absolutely. I want to keep this going as long as we can. And, as far as him retiring, Paul, I wish I could help you out with that, but I'm just as green as that, when it comes to that. I'm just, still trying to figure all that out myself. So, Paul, I just want to thank you for being in my 20,000 subscriber video too, by the way. I really appreciate that. Sharonda Griffin wants to know, how do you make all your decisions for breeding? Bob from Missouri. And Anthony Hanks wants to know, do you do your own AI? ? Love the older style barns. Reminds me of ours. Would you like to improve in the next 10 to 15 years? So let's focus on the AI questions and the breeding. AI, which is artificial insemination, so they're going to put those 2 questions together. Anthony, thank you. I know Anthony's a very loyal subscriber. I know as soon as I post a video, it's not going to be that much longer that Anthony will have watched it and commented on it, so I really appreciate it. Support is a big thing for my YouTube. I'm always saying that. I got some of the best subscribers, and I really appreciate it, so thank you, Anthony. My brother was the one who did all the breeding, and he was really, really good at it. Excuse me. Since he has left, my dad went back to the breeding. I have not learned the breeding yet. We talk about, obviously me and my dad talk about different decisions, like, oh, we should breed her to this, or you breed her to this. But as far as doing the actual breeding, my dad has done it. But since he has had his surgery, my brother has come back down to help out with the breeding. So it's good to have that family to help out. And like I said, my brother's really, really good at it. So, yeah. What would you like to improve in the next 10, 15 years? We kind of got the ball started on our feeding system, and I know a lot of people have said, why don't you guys do TMR? and that's kind of a direction, since I'm back full time now. That's kind of the direction I'm taking things. We've gotten the round baler now. We're looking at the wrapper. We have gone to a demo to look at a mixer, so we can take the next step of getting all that. Now we have the corn silage, haylage, high moisture corn, all that, dry hay. Now we can take baleage and go with our nutritionist Alyssa, and we can come up with a formula to kind of mix all that up, a good mixture for the cows, and then your heifer mixture and all that kind of stuff, dry cow mix, and just to kind of get everything. So I think that's the kind of the next step, and we'll put this in together. Dylan Barber wants to know, what's the long-term plan of the farm? Are you a partner in the farm or just a farm employee? I am a partner in the farm. I own a percentage of the farm along with my parents. The long term, I'd like to try to, I just said we're working on TMR and the feeding, excuse me, and to go from there, it's going to be interesting in the next couple years, once we kind of get that ball rolling. Okay, after that, do we milk a few more cows? Do we expand the grain acres? Where do we kind of, try to expand things a little bit? But that's kind of, or do we just stay pat and go from there? I'd like to try to expand things a little bit. And when I say expand, not get huge by any means, but just to kind of grow a little bit. We'll see how it goes. That's a lot easier said than done. Dan Lowry wants to know, do you plan to expand the farm? I think we just touched on that. I'd like to eventually. EAB Farms, we're going to roll this all together. Are you content where you are, or part of the operation? Do you want to expand? I don't think we're content by any means. Like I talked about, I think we're addressing the feeding program. We're kind of getting that together, taking the next step into the feeding program. Once we get that next step, then we can really take a look at, okay, do we want to, expand the numbers? What are we going to do for if we want to expand the numbers, what are we going to do for a barn? What are we going to do for a milking system? All that kind of ties in. And it's not cheap. And, it's... it's not going to be cheaper down the road either. So that's something we all have to take into consideration. So, and, there's no easy answer to that. There's what you would like to do, and then there's reality also. So, by the way, go check out EAB Farms. He makes a lot of hay on, his YouTube channel. Makes some good content. All right. Ronit Godwa, like I said, I apologize if I, get your name wrong here, but Ronit Godwell. My question is, what's your average operating cost, including all expenses like diesel, seed, fertilizer, manure irrigation, electricity, transport, etc., from drilling to harvest, I gotta go around the camera, per acre per season, and what's your average profit acre after deducting expenses? That is, I do these Q&As to try to elaborate a little more. I always answer comments. I pretty much pride myself on answering comments. These Q&As are a fun interaction to kind of elaborate a little bit on the answers. But the answer to this question is going to take... It's going to take its own video. I mean, to break down everything. The diesel, what we pay for seed, what we pay for fertilizer. We don't do manure irrigation. We do our own manure, electricity, all that stuff that you want. And then you want a breakdown of all our, that's going to take such a huge video. And to be honest with you, it's going to be boring. It's going to be like for the people that know Ben Stein, the actor Ben Stein, if you don't know him, he's the one from that Ferris Bueller Day Off, that Bueller. It would be like Ben Stein just rambling, and it would. But Ron, I'm sure you probably want to know that because you emailed me either a week or two ago, and you asked me to you asked me to give you $300,000 to invest into you so you could start your farm, and then you promised me big returns on my investment, up from $600,000 plus return on my investment, and I don't think you were too happy that I respectfully declined to be a part of it, to be a part of your business venture there. Like I said, I'm sure if someone from another country emails you, and all I thought about is if anyone knows the show The Office, the American version of The Office, when Michael Scott is getting roasted, and Pam says, and he once fell for a scam, and Michael is getting all upset, which was his idea for the roast, and as people are roasting him, he's getting upset of what they're saying, and she said the one time he got scammed out of money online, and Michael Scott says, when the I'm gonna butcher the quote, but something like, when the king of Africa emails you personally, you listen, or something like that. It was just a funny thing, but I'm not calling you a scam artist, but I'm just like I said, maybe it's legit, maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not gonna venture off. I'm gonna invest, like I told you, I'm gonna invest in my own business and in my children, because that's going to be my future. And so if it's, I hope it's legit. If it is legit, if it's not legit, just hey, stop scamming people. That ain't cool. If it is legit, I wish you nothing but the best in getting your farm up and running. Yeah, so I'm sure that's probably why you want to know all my expenses, because you wanted me to give you $300,000 to invest into you. But I'm not so much in the position to do investing. But on that note, if any rich millionaire or billionaire out there stumbles across this channel and wants to invest in the Mike P 7810 Freestall fund, or the Mike P 7810 milking robot or milking parlor fund, or how about the old Mike P 7810 fund? That's still open there. All seriously, I thought about making a video one time. If people see TV, there used to be, I don't know if they're still out there. I don't watch a lot of TV. I stream a lot of things, including YouTube and stuff like that. Excuse me. And I used to, if I watch Comedy Central, or if you watch anything late at night, there always were these commercials that it showed poor children and everything, and this one older gentleman would always be like, for pennies a day, for the price of a cup of coffee, you could help out children, and they'd go through and say their names and everything. They all look sad and everything, and he's walking through their village, and you can help. Your donation for a little bit each day could help out. And I thought about making a spoof video on that, very sad music in there, and for your small donation for a cup of coffee a day, you can help Mike P 7810 get that 7810 and earn the right to call his channel Mike P 7810. But the reason why I didn't make that video, that spoof video, was I didn't want people to take it seriously, like I was actually asking for money. I know I'm not going to say names, but there was a YouTube channel that, I don't know, I don't watch it. I heard about it, was a roundabout way, I guess, asking for money. And a couple of channels were spoofing on him a little bit. They're like, I remember a channel was tearing down a building, and he's like, well, maybe I should bottle up this dirt and I could sell this dirt. So I'm not asking for money, and I was joking around about all that. So anyway, I'm sorry, Ron, I'm not going to be able to go through your question. Like I said, I try to keep these, I ramble enough as it is, and I think people would rather hear the rambling than to break down every single thing. It'd probably be an hour-long video showing document, and I'm just not going to do that, I'm not hiding anything. I don't mind opening, as YouTubers, I don't mind, we don't mind opening ourselves up a little bit and showing you a little bit of our lives, but, I mean, let's be serious here. So, like I said, I hope you're legit, and if you are legit, best of luck to you. That's all I can say, is best of luck to you getting your farm started. Dembeck Farms, when are you coming down for a beer? Oh, I do need to get down there. Steve doesn't. Go check out Steve's channel too. He has a pretty good one. He's up and coming. He just got a GoPro and a drone. So, yeah, that's. Gotta keep my throat going here. Why is every barn painted white? Mikey the 2 wants to know. They're whitewashed, and then you answered your own comment. But yeah, old barns, they whitewash them. Old tie stall barns, that's what you're really supposed to do, is you're supposed to whitewash them. That's why they're all painted white on the inside. And you answered your own question, so. Mikuda? And, ooh, I'm going to need some help with this one. So, Google, help me out with this one.
Michael, masz takie same krowy jak w Polsce.
Okay, translate.
Michael, you have the same cows as in Poland.
So, yeah, we have Holstein cows on our farm. They're probably one of the most common dairy breeds there are. There's 6 dairy breeds. Holstein, which we have the black and white and the red and white, as you see. Jerseys, Brown Swiss, Ayrshire, Guernsey, and what am I missing? Milking Shorthorn. There's your 6 right there. So yeah, Holsteins, the black and white, they're the most common dairy breed. And there's a good opportunity to roll with this one. Tim Wilcox wants to know, how many head are you milking now? Do you have any jerseys that add fat to the content of the milk? When I was a little kid in 4-H, we had I had jerseys as 4-H projects. But we're just strictly Holstein now. We're milking about, the barn holds 50. We have some that are dried off right now. I got one I got to go check here in a little bit to see if she calved. But we're milking about 44 right now. So could be 45 by the end of the day. Dana Edwards wants to know, you should strap a camera on one of your cows and give us the life. Yeah, I don't know if the camera would make it, that's for sure. These GoPros are a little too expensive to be doing that. Discovery Bricks wants to know, what is your milk price? How many cows do you have? The milk price right now, we haven't gotten 2024 milk check yet, but the milk price is running around $22. And I don't, you asked how many cows do I have? The barn holds 50. We have a full barn right now. We have a full dry cows. The dry cow barn is actually pretty full. There's 14 in there. I mean, overall, heifers, calves, dry cows, milk cows, excuse me, we're probably at, I'm going to say 115, 120. Zeke says, curious to hear and see more of the jobs around the barn. We see you plant, harvest crops. While most of the field work, you could share most of the chores around the barn. And have you seen in previous videos, I've been doing that, with the manure, with the feeding and the milking and stuff like that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that, and I appreciate that. Zeke. Jerry Taylor, I don't know if I've asked yet, but how many cows, heifers do you guys currently have? How many acres do you run to support them? Do row crops? Any future expansion? Barn, cows wise? Thanks, Mike. Love the content. Jerry, we talked about the milking and the barn. I'd like to. We'll see if it's plausible, if it's going to happen. We'll see. That's another whole nother argument there. And I just answered not too long ago about the cows. We were milking. We were farming around 350 acres or so, and then we just picked up another 100 acres last summer. So we're right around that 450, which is good because it's going to allow us to do more. I said I want to increase the round bales with the baleage and everything, so that'll allow us to increase that. Ian Haggart wants to know, good evening from Scotland. Quick question for your Q&A. Do you have any plans for in the future to try any new crops, diversification of the farm? We know you're loving the wrap bales now. Try putting the camera on the skid steer at some point. Lots of people seem to like how they work. Stay safe. Thank you, Ian. Ian always finishes everything with stay safe. So Ian, you stay safe too. Nothing as far as new crops. I mean, we tried some triticale for a cover crop. We tried it in one of the worst fields that we tried planting stuff in that just doesn't really grow unless you are unless you're trying to harvest rocks, I guess. But I'd like to try some more triticale as a cover crop. And a lot of people, we were just so late last year getting the chopping done, so we didn't do a cover crop last year. But I usually our cover crop we usually do is rye, and I'd like to try some more triticale. So I guess that would be the triticale cover crop would be the one that we'd be looking at. So guys, I'm going to stop this right here because the questions, they're rolling in good and the video is going to get pretty long. So I'm going to break this up and say this is part 1. If you did not hear your question answered, check out part 2 where I will answer your question. Thank you guys so much. In the meantime, thumbs up if you like this video. Drop me a question or comment below. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have, thumbs up to you. I totally appreciate it. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one, everybody.